Hi everybody, it's Jeff Fitzpatrick. I haven't recorded one of these for a while. I've been deep in thought and working my tail off, working out how best to use AI in terms of trading. I'm very suspicious of it and I still do a lot of manual work. However, I'm increasingly persuaded that we've found something here very worth doing. So I'm going to talk about how we find stock and put sales candidates, how that turns into a daily scan, how we can actually amend that scan to do different things, and also what else we can do, such as covered call selling, finding candidates for that. Now, when I started this project, I was faced with a big problem. First of all, I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. The New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ have between them 13,500 or so stocks, and there's about 6,000 of those are optionable. So that cuts it down straight away. I don't need 13,500 to look through, it's just 6,000. Still not easy. Also, I need a set of parameters, something to actually filter out what I'm looking for. And of course, we've got the very successful TICN 4x4 system, but I also got a very professional set of parameters from a professional fund trading organization. So I'm using both. But even then, even if we could just apply those parameters, there's a real problem. If you talk to any of the AI platforms, ChatGPT or whoever, you'll find it's not going to let you go through 6,000 stocks to actually find what you're looking for. So we need another approach. And thankfully, I have found a solution. First, we have to find stocks that have good entry prices. So it's like technical trading. We want stocks that have good charts. And here's what I mean in summary terms by good charts. An upward trend which is at least started. I want some momentum building in the indicators. I want higher highs forming, and I want an acceptable risk to reward ratio. There are more parameters in this, but these actually summarize what I'm looking for. So for example, on momentum building, I look at 2 or 3 ways of measuring that. One being the MACD, for example. But we're not just stuck with these parameters, we can use any. So my colleague, Owen O'Malley, he has a strong liking for stocks with 3 downward price waves followed by an early sign of recovery. So that's what we're looking for. So let's have a look at some charts and see what we can find. So here we have some charts, and you'll see that I've actually got some new columns on here. And the first of these is my daily scan. But notice that this watch list is the whole of the New York Stock Exchange and also the NASDAQ. But I can do that, and it's going to give me about 50 or so hits. But I can also move to a watch list that only has optionable stock on it. And there we have it. So that's cut it down. I've now got 42 candidates to look at. That's a lot less than 6,000. Let's have a look at some of them. And what you're going to see immediately is that some of them are already at significant highs. They've been running for quite some time. Now that's not actually a surprise to me, because what I know is that statistically the stocks that are most likely to increase at any particular time are the ones that are already increasing. And bear in mind, the market we've had at the moment has been very negative, and these things are going up. But you'll also notice that the MACD and the RSI and also the stochastics are also looking good on each of these. Let's see a few more. Similar story, similar story, similar story. I can just go on. I can find basically 42 good stocks to go with. Then I would put these through the quality filtration system to look at that further. But let's also have a look at Owen O'Malley's favourite on this one, which are these 3 waves. And here there are 8 of them. So let's have a look at some of these. So we can see here we've now actually had 3 waves. There's 1, 2, and then we have a downward movement, a gap. But again, look at the indicators on it. You know, they're looking pretty good. It's another one, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another. So again, I can put these through the quality filtration system. I know, for example, that QLYS will come out rather well, and it gives me an excellent candidate. But there's still an awful lot to do here. Finding great charts is fine if you only do technical trading, but we need those fundamentals too. That's not a problem. I've got an even more impressive filter system for quality. The idea is to find all the great stocks from with great charts, and then to select those from amongst them which have met the very high quality thresholds. But we're not finished there. We can also find the stocks offering the best put premiums from those that make the grade. And beyond that, for the stocks that we already own, which are ready to be considered for selling a covered call against. Now I know that Owen has gone on to do even more work than this. There's a huge amount going on, and we will be revealing all of this on a live training course to be held in Donegal between the 17th and the 19th of April. That's 2026. And if you'd like to come and join us there are only a handful of seats left on it, but if you get in touch with Owen or I, we can point you in the right direction, and if you're quick, you might just do it. This is the only way you're going to get access to all of the learning and understanding that we've achieved by using AI over the last 6 to 12 months. Thanks for listening. Great to be talking to you again. Cheers.